Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8 round 18 review. Well, what a round of footy it was. We've got some carnage, which we'll talk about shortly. We saw one of the matches of the year, talking about Richmond and Essendon, of course. No, absolutely not. I'm talking about Gold Coast and Collingwood. So we had one of the biggest scoring quarters of the year. When I'm talking about there is, Josh Dacos. He scored like a 126, in a quarter of footy, which made me think, that's one fine looking Dacos. Why doesn't mine look like that? I'm talking about Nick because I own Nick and not Josh. Anyway, on to the team. So we traded out Matt Roberts and we scored. We brought in Shai Bolton. So Roberts, he scored an 89 on the weekend, and Bolton, he scored a 90. So, yay, so far the trade has netted us one whole point. All right, so, and in the vice captain, vice captain Zachary Merritt, who started on fire in the first quarter, and then, did all right in the second quarter, I think, and then did nothing in the second half. So he ended up on a 96, which is very disappointing. And Zachary Butters scored a 154, which I think half the comp, would have had as their backup captain. All right. So let's get our little our captain spreadsheet. Add Zach Butters as 154. So, hey, our average for our captain scores is 132.9. All right. Now, speaking of that carnage I was talking about before, well, here it is. Don't know if I've missed anything, and these are in no particular order. I own a few of these players, not all of them, but some of these guys are quite Supercoach relevant. So, enough talking. Let's get into it. Cherry, as of this moment, has been suspended for 3 weeks for concussing with that sort of swinging arm to who was it? Tom Sparrow. Going for the ball, missed, and KO'd Tom Sparrow, unfortunately. So, what do we do? You've got a few trades. Yeah, you've probably got to trade him out. If you're like me and only have one trade, do I use my last trade on Cherry? 3 weeks, 6 weeks to go. That's literally half the season. Well, half the remaining season, I mean. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I'm not sure if Kangaroos are going to appeal or not. We'll find out later on. Connor Rozee has a hand injury. He was subbed off. What was it, like a finger or something? I think I read that he's a test to play this week. He may miss against Hawthorn. So not a long-term injury. We might have some cover that we can cover with Connor. Jason Horne-Francis apparently has a broken foot. So, it says season, but question mark at the end there. Surely you don't bring him back for the rest of the year. Just put him on ice. You can't make finals, I don't think. And, you probably have to trade him out too. Nick Martin just done his ACL, unfortunately. As an Essendon man, absolutely shattered for him. Hopefully he can come back stronger. Whenever he comes back. If you've got him, you've probably got to trade him out. Adam Chera. Could he be suspended for running into an umpire? It's been talked about in the media for the last few weeks. You don't run into the umpires. Well, Chera has run into the umpire. And talk, from the AFL saying, if you do it too many times, you're either going to cop a huge fine or get suspended. And I'm hoping that, Chera is not made an example of. But, knowing the AFL, I'm pretty sure that gut feel is he's going to get maybe a week or so. And finally, Touk Miller. He's done his hammy, out for 3 to 4 weeks. So, again, probably got to trade him out, I reckon. All right. On to how my team is ranked, and first off, we scored a 2,329. Man, a few dud scores in there. And we've gone down 854 spots to 7,252. So, another red arrow. Don't think I've seen a green arrow for, since the start of the buys, I think. So, it's a bit of a downward spiral for me this last couple of months after being, ranked in 1K. All right, so yeah, as you can see, I've got 16.7K left with one trade. All right, so let's just have a look at the team. Max Holmes, very disappointing with a 72. But he does have a good run coming up shortly. Jordan Clark, yep, beautiful. Bounce back with a 125 after his 50 after getting tagged against Sydney. Dane Zorko, 107. Yep, that's fun. And it's right bang on his average. Lockie Whitfield for his 250th, 105, which is again close to his average. And he has my boys Essendon on Thursday night. Damn, who decided to fixture that on a Thursday night? Anyway, Callum Mills, 55. To be honest, I didn't really want to pick him. Should have gone with my gut and just not followed the crowd and, get Callum Mills in. Tom McCarthy, 87. Wow, he's worth 275k now. All right, so for a 102k, or no, not 102k anymore. They're now 99k. That's fine, totally fine. That's what I expected. Taru, 48. Had a bit of a rough start, giving away a couple of free kicks, but he scored a 48. We might need him for cover this week. Surely he plays this week. Come on, Ross. You wouldn't be such a wanker, would you? Well, maybe you would. Campbell Gray didn't play. Zach Butters, mentioned before, 154. He was on like 70 points at quarter time. Jeez, he was on track for what's that? 280 at quarter time. But no, he stopped in quarter two, and it's 154. We're going to take that, of course. Nick Dacos, a bit disappointing with a 85. I think he went down. He was a bit sore throughout the game. Copped a couple of knocks. But come on, mate. Need you to lift for the run home. Bont, 174. Could have made him the vice, but obviously didn't. We expect these types of scores, throughout the season from Bont. Not every game, but not surprised that he's scored a 174. That's why we've got him in the team for these type scores. Connor Rozee, as mentioned before, subbed out 53 with an injured hand or finger or a bit of both. May miss this week, so not sure what we're going to do here. Zach Merritt, like I said before, disappointing, disappeared after half time, 96. And hey, as did Essendon for the second half as well. They disappeared as well. Harry Sheasel, yep, that's great, 123. More of those scores, please. Jack Sinclair's turned up for the first time in a few few games, the 106. Adam Chera, disappointing score as well to go with his potential suspension, 76. Zachary Johnson started as the sub, came on after Nick Martin got injured, scored a 41. So, does that injury mean he might keep his spot on the side, be a starting pick? Hopefully so, because we might need you as cover. Bo Allen didn't play. Hugh Boxall, or the St Kilda Sartis, scored a 39. Why the St Kilda Sartis? Well, just seems like he has that real low time on ground for some reason. I don't know if he's just not fit or doesn't have a tank or whatever. I'm not sure. Anyway, onto the rucks. The two rucks, they played against each other. Didn't actually watch the whole game, but Max Gawn 112, 574k. We could have sold him off, when he was like 750k. Imagine if we got in Grundy, and Grundy this week plays against North Melbourne, who could be without Cherry. Oh, he's going to go bananas, and I'm not going to be able to get Grundy, am I? No, probably not. Grundy's worth like 700k now, and Cherry's gone down as well to 573. He was worth about 730k as well. Anyway, Cherry, might be a trade-out option. Harry Boyd didn't play, but another ruck rookie, Max Heath, he played. And what's he? I think he's like 117k. Could we even get... I might not even have enough to get him. Anyway, if I were to go there. Anyway, we'll talk about that in another video. Bailey Smith, disappointing with a 73. One of his that'd have to be like his lowest score for the year, wouldn't it? Jack McRae, 108. Yep, fine. Rankin, 105. Yep, good. back into the hundreds. Good. That's what we like to see. Petrarca, disappointing. I think he just butchered the ball. 84. Caleb Daniel, 102. That's good. Sam Darcy, 79. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have picked key forward, even if it is, Sam Darcy. Anyway. Sam Butler didn't play. Hopefully he's back next week. And Cooper Simpson. Is that his name? What's his first name? Yeah, it is Cooper Simpson. I just went blank there for some reason. He should be back in the next couple of weeks. Well, whether he plays Waffle or... Yeah, round 20, so a couple of weeks away. Whether or not he plays, straight back into the AFL team, not sure. So, anyway, hopefully can be some cover. And Shai Bolton, oh wow, he's gone down in price to 395. And yeah, he scored a 90. One more point than who I traded him in for, Matt Roberts. So hopefully he can deliver us some, Shai Bolton, the ultimate roller coaster. Hopefully, we're just at the flat part of the roller coaster, and hopefully we're on our way up shortly. Okay, so that's the team. All right. I'm probably going to do a bit of a different trade video this week. I'm probably going to do it after the Essendon GWS game, once all the teams are selected, because I don't think any of my trades personally will be affected in this game. But yeah, I'm just going to... Actually, first, I just want to see something. If I trade out Tristan Cherry, who can I get? So I've got 590k to play with. So I can pretty much get anyone other than Rowan Marshall, Luke Jackson, or Brodie Grundy. So I could get a Tim English. What's he averaging this year? 107. All right, I'm going to go do a deep dive into all these ruckmans, their run home. So, Darcy Cameron, he could be an option. Jared Witts, maybe. Well, he's got Rob this week, so he's pretty restrictive. Ooh, Toby Nankervis against West Coast. Yeah, not really a lot of options here. Jesus, Darcy Fort's gone up by 218k. Bloody hell. Anyway, I'm going to have a bit of a think about this week. And yeah, might put together something for the trades video with all our ruck options. Alright, so on to the captain, vice captain this week. Well, Thursday night against Essendon, who just love kicking the ball, to opposition backmen. I might go VC Lockie Whitfield. That's without even looking at any of the other games yet. Alright, so yeah, we might do that. Who's Bont playing? Bont playing Brisbane's at the Gabba, so could be a bit tough there. Butters, Hawthorn, Sydney, North Melbourne. No, I'm not going to go Mills. Gawn up against, it could be double team TDK and Pitnet. Don't have any Richmond players. Oh, West Coast Richmond playing against each other. Alright. Maxi Holmes. Could he get the Windhager tag? Or Bailey Smith get the Windhager tag? Collingwood against Fremantle at the G. Dacos maybe? Well, he could get... Actually, he got tagged last time by... Was it Warner? Or Wagner? One of them. Adelaide, Rankin against Gold Coast. Who do I go? Look, I might just stick it on Bont. Alright, so, yeah. Vice Captain Whitfield, Captain Bont. Alright, so, yeah, that'll be the end of this video. Keep an eye out for, my trades video where, might be a bit of a discussion about the rucks or any other position as well. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.